Hey guys, welcome back. This is Sassafras, and thanks for joining me. Before we begin, I just need to put out a disclaimer that I'm by no means an authority on this subject. I'm just going off of what I've experienced in game and offering tips and tricks based on that. My word on the subject is not absolute, and there are several ways to do things when it comes to role-playing in this game. So, just take that as you will. So, any road?
How to roleplay in Final Fantasy XIV!
The guy.
So today we're getting started with the basics. How do people know if I'm role-playing? This handy little tag is your best friend. You've probably seen these floating around different people's heads in the game, and each one means different things. This one means leave me alone, this one means I'm bad at the game, and this one means that you're a chat of light ready to immerse yourself in the world of roleplay. You can put this icon above your head in a number of ways, the easiest of which is just by typing /roleplaying into the text box. You can also go to social, right-click on your name to access your search info and add it here as well. You can add a quick blurb to inform other RPers of your particular style, as well as pronouns you prefer and other info you want to make obvious that might not translate well in-game. Like, for instance, I've seen a lot of Viera players have a male listing in their name here. But I guess that particular issue won't be a thing once Endwalker drops. Thanks, Yoshi P. You may see some letters listed here as well. WU stands for Walk Up RP. Basically, if someone has an RP tag over their head and they have a WU in their info, you can assume that they'll be fine with you approaching them to RP, even outside of a venue. MRP stands for Mature Roleplay. This covers all kinds of themes, from violence and drugs to other more edgier things. And then there's ERP. This stands for Erotic Roleplay. I shouldn't have to explain what that means. Getting back to the icons floating over our heads, there are a few other ones besides the role-playing icon that you should be aware of. When you visit a venue, you may see the staff with one of these icons above their head. The type command for this is /looking to meld. Typically, this one means that the person who is RPing is an employee of the venue that you're visiting. And this is the ERP icon. This one means you're down for the horizontal mambo, the no pants dance. You're down to Basically, this means you're looking for a special someone or someones to spend an evening with. This is a subject that kind of deserves its own video, and it's not something that I particularly take part in, but it's something that I definitely appreciate exists in the game. Role-playing is a social activity. That said, sometimes people get shy, and that's completely fine. It's perfectly acceptable to post up in a venue and just take in the conversation if you're feeling too anxious to participate. This is actually a great way for beginners to get a feel for how a venue works. If a staff member approaches you asking if you need anything, you can just let them know that you're taking in the environment. I've never been to a place where this was a problem. We all start off somewhere. You don't need to jump in and be great at this right away. In fact, sitting back and watching others is a fantastic way to learn. Everything in Say Chat is visible to the surrounding environment. This is also called public RP. If you're feeling shy or just want to RP but with a bit of privacy, there are a few ways to do this as well. Let's say you have a few friends together at a venue, but you want to keep your conversation private from everyone. Forming a party is the ideal way to do this. That way you and your friends can interact with each other and jump in Say Chat if a venue owner comes up asking if you need more coffee biscuits or something. Another common scenario is if you are alone, but you still want to maintain that bit of privacy while still participating in roleplaying. Using /tell to communicate with the venue owners is fine too. For my venue, we just adapt to each person that comes in. If someone addresses me in /tell, I typically do the same for them. Making people feel comfortable should be the goal of a venue, in my opinion. As you act out scenes, you can enhance yours and other people's experience by using emotes. For example, I have a macro that lets my character chug several beers in succession. Behold! But wait, look at this! My awesome macro is spamming the chat box with a bunch of crap. No one wants to see that. Anytime you use a standard emote like /toast in this case, it'll show up in the chat box, and that makes it harder for everyone in the vicinity to keep track of the chat. You may even miss something. Typically, it's considered good manners to mute these. You can do this by opening up your emotes menu and unselecting this box here. You can now spam the emotes to your heart's content and not worry about annoying everyone in the place. You may say, but Sassafras, that emote is part of my RP! Yeah, that's fine, that's cool. That's why custom emotes are your best friend. Typing /em and then adding a space, will make the following text appear as an emote. So it's a customized emote that you can use. This is by far my favorite part of RPing in this game, and it will be the subject of an upcoming video. Deserves an entire video on its own. Let's take a look at a use case. I'm smacking the ever-living crap out of Egbert here, and oh no, I flooded the text box with a bunch of stupid crap. No one wants to see that. Look how pissed he is. By disabling my emotes, I can now smack the crap out of my employee with reckless abandon and disregard for his well-being, and not flood the text box. Another thing to keep in mind is how busy some of these establishments can get. Housing in this game has a maximum capacity for people to come inside, and unfortunately minions take up one of these slots. So it's actually considered good manners to dismiss your minion when you enter one of these places. You don't want to take away from someone else's ability to go inside and experience the venue just because your shoe bill is chilling by the entryway. My personal venue doesn't have this rule. I operate under the assumption that your minion is actually part of your character. Like Jerry, my shoe bill. Oh, I love you, Jerry. You're such a good boy. And my venue is a bit more intimate in nature, so I've never really had to worry about maxing out capacity before. Each venue is unique, so some places are a little bit more lax about this rule than others, mine being one of those. There's also a stigma about having your weapons visible while role-playing. I've been to a few places in the past that request you to put them away. However, I have a far more relaxed view on this rule for my venue, and in certain RP scenarios, it wouldn't make sense to not have a weapon out. So this rule is probably one of the more ignorable ones. Just be sure to put a weapon away if anyone asks you to. And one last stigma: do not claim to be the Warrior of Light. Because, well, we're all Warriors of Light. If you claim your toon is the Warrior of Light, it diminishes other people's experience in the game as if it didn't happen to them. And honestly, you're going to make a far more compelling character by just having fun with the game's lore and making your own character. Because, let's face it, silent protagonists are, well, they're boring. Sorry, they're boring. Obviously, in your group of friends that are close and know each other's lore, yeah, go ham. Whatever, no big deal. But in public, around strangers, just keep that little bit to yourself. Alrighty guys, that's going to be all for this video. The next one in the installment is going to be about custom emotes. This is going to be a fun one, so be sure to check it out. And as always, cheers, and don't forget to tip your bartender. And, oh no, I flooded the chat box because my